Linux EC2 instance working, or it's not up yet. Let me just fire one up. This one's Linux, so I'm gonna just start it up. Oops. Now, let's see what key it's used. If there is a key. Do you guys remember where to locate what keys it used?
Oh, it should be in the details, but there's also a list of keys on the dashboard.
Oh, okay. So dashboard, keys.
The key pairs, yeah.
And then it should tell you what key it used. Okay, I see. So I guess I used the Cypress 1 key for the... Okay, so go back to ECT. Should be running. All right, so this Linux is running. I need to remote into it using SSH. Now this version of SSH I'm using is 7.4, unless you want me to use 7.5. Let's go 7.
I think we're okay.
We're okay? Okay.
Yeah.
And I believe it's educate. And just to verify, oh, the IP address changed, so I have to make sure the public IP, it matches with what I guess it's giving me, which is there. See that?
How do you know the user though? The Ubuntu.
It's the same username in AWS when you start it.
Okay.
So it's 2.3.172. And to get the public IP, you just look at the details of the
instance.
The instance. So you just look at the summary. You go EC2 instance, and then you just pick the Linux one that's running. And just to double check, the key is there. You go to auth, and it says it uses the Cypress 1 key, but here it's using the PPK. So I'm gonna click open. I'm gonna say no.
Nice.
And I'm logged in, so I should be on the instance itself, as you can see there. So to send a file to this instance using the PPK, first we open up a command line. Oops. Okay. And then we go to the location of the PPK, which is, I believe...
And this is the Windows command line, right?
Yes, the Windows command line. I think it's CIS. Here. I think it's under key pair, and that's the that's where the PPK is located, and I have the installer there. I'm not gonna run it, but I have the copy of the installer there. And the secure copy CSP is there. Did you want me to run both the PCP and the secure copy just to show you it works?
Which we're running the PPK key, right? So that means we have to use PSCP.
Correct.
Yeah. So let's do that. Yeah.
Do you remember the commands?
Damn it. I mean, I know that it's a PSCP. Um, do we have to put an I?
Yes,
An
we
I
do.
for like?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
right.
Yeah, I. That's like the one of the flags, right?
Correct. And then
Yeah, I, and then
the
the
key.
source and destination. Oh, the key.
Yeah, the
Right.
key there
Okay, so this is very important. So we're writing down the command, the pscp, while we're in the directory
of Windows.
of where the of Windows, right? But where the actual key pair is, correct?
Correct.
Right. So we have to change the directory first to get into the file to where the key is. Then we write out this command.
Hmm.
Okay. So we write pscp, the I flag, and then we write in the key, which is cypress1.ppk.
Right. And
And then I believe next
um,
is it source destination?
no, we have to tell it the file we want to copy. So let me just pull this up. Oops. So it's pscp-i cypress 1 is the name of the ppk, and then the file we want to copy. In this case, it's the Komodo installer,
Right.
and then we have to give it the IP address of our instance and the username, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Ubuntu at 3.239-172-255, and then we have to give it the location we want to save it on the instance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna put it in the temp folder.
Yeah, because wouldn't you have to create a folder and then in Linux instance to tell it where to go?
No, we can use the home folder
Oh, okay.
too.
Is that like the default folder?
Yes, for all the users on Linux. Yes.
Okay, cool.
So you want me to put it there?
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
Default folder is fine.
All right.
Because then we'd have to talk about how to create it.
Right. So just to make sure we're back on the Windows, sorry, the Linux instance, and we're just checking if there's a file there that exists. Right now there isn't. So we're gonna run this command. It's
Right.
gonna be a little slow because it's a really big file and I'm on real slow internet. And then it's just gonna ask me these questions about, hey, do you want to use this? Say yes.
Please.
And it's copying and it's gonna be slow.
Let me ask real quick while it's copying. When you're creating a Linux instance and it asks you to create a new key, how do you know, or how do you change it from a .pem to a .ppk, or does it pick for you?
That is a good
Like, what's
question.
the
Yeah.
rules to that?
Uh, um.
It's
I
gonna
asked.
it's
No, I'm
gonna
sorry,
always
please.
create .pem file, and you would have to convert it into PPK by either putty keygen or something else.
Oh, okay.
So by
And
default,
that was what we did last.
yeah,
And I was gonna say, Alfredo, that's what we did last time, right? With the putty gen, we had to export the key, not import it.
right. We were given the PPK, but if we wanted to use it as a PEM, then we will use putty gen to generate a PEM. I can show that step too if you need me to.
Yeah, because I'm interested in how do you convert it? How do you convert a PEM to a PPK?
Hmm.
Yeah. So once this is done, maybe Alfredo, you can launch the putty key generator.
While it's running. Okay.
And what you do actually is just actually find your PM file on the putty gen,
Okay. So
and then
I'm launching this. So we look for the PEM file instead.
yeah,
Okay.
if you have one.
This I'm using I guess the one I created.
Yeah, Cypress one. Yeah, that's fine. Cypress one is okay.
Now this is saying it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. And then you actually okay, and you just click generate, and then save private key.
That's it. to convert a PEM.
I'm sorry. Actually, this will be public key. Save public key. Yeah?
Okay. So generate and then save public key. Do we need to choose?
Oh, I'm sorry. No. You don't have to do generate. Actually, once you load it and then save it as a public key.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, just
so
load again.
Okay, I'm gonna exit. Okay, I'm running puttygen. Load the PEM.
Yeah, and then save as a public key.
Save as a public key. Okay.
And then just save as public key without selecting any of these parameters?
Yeah, without selecting anything. Yeah. And this should be actually saving as a PPK.
Ah.
So just load the PM file and then just save as a public key.
Name whatever you want to name it.
We'll call this Savage.
Yeah, it should save as a, and don't do that PPK. I think it should be actually PPK automatically.
No, it didn't. It actually just save it as without the PPK tag.
Yeah, it should save as a PPK.
It should, yeah. It should automatically give it that extension.
Okay, so I'm gonna save it and then just look for the Savage file.
No, it's right there. It didn't save as a PPK.
No.
It should save as a PPK.
So I'm gonna delete this.
Yeah, let me actually do it in my here.
So the file finished copying, and then we're just gonna double check in the Linux instance, and it's there.
Excellent. Could you tell us really quick, Alfredo, where you check for the file in Linux?
Right. So when we told it to copy in this original command, we told it to say, well, let me highlight this so that you can see it. We told it to save it under this folder, which is home Ubuntu.
Mm-hmm.
But once we log into the Ubuntu instance, you type in pwd for present working directory to tell you what directory you're in. In this case, it's under home/Ubuntu.
Mm-hmm.
And then you type in the command ls-l to list all the files in that folder. And as you can see, it's the installer there.
Excellent. One quick question while we wait for Rafeh. If you wanted to run that .run file, how would you execute it?
The instructions, I think, told us to either run it with a chmod, and think we do +x to tell it to make it an executable, and then you give it the command. You give it the file you want to convert it so that it's an executable. So it's chmod, and then +x, then itsm, whatever the file name of the run file, the file you want to make it executable.
Excellent. And then once it is executable, don't you have to actually run it after that?
Yeah. So once you push,
but we wouldn't want to do it, right? Just just in case.
So when you do the same chmod command and you do +x, it makes the file executable. It turns it to like a light green.
Right.
And then to run the command, you just do // and then its, and then that should run it.
That should run it.
Yeah.
Perfect. And these are, would you say these are the steps that we would do on the Cypress server too, right?
Correct. These are just command line options.
Right. Now, I guess the next question, since like theoretically we already installed the .run file on our Linux server, how would, like, when we enroll, the device, how would we take the email link and send it to the server?
That's the GUI version, which of course It's just a little slower on my end because I'm not on a fast connection.
Right.
But you can actually do the enroll option as well doing this method.
Uh-huh.
So what we would do is, let's say we are in the Dragon platform, and then you would go to I guess devices and device list, and there's an enroll option there, right? And
Right, correct.
we just select the not current device, I want specific. And we just select a user that needs to be specified. We're gonna make can I see Esther on here? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, this is.
We're gonna make Esther the specific user that's gonna enroll on the device. Go next. We select the Linux that we want, and here it just says enroll and protect, but you just want it to enroll only, right?
Yeah. Like we're not actually gonna enroll it. I just want to go through the steps,
Okay.
just to show that the process is the same, and we're
Okay.
using the link.
So if we didn't have the GUI version, we're just gonna do the same way we copied the installer. So we're just gonna do enroll. We're not. I don't think we're gonna change the device name.
But you could
You could,
if you
yeah,
wanted to.
we
Yeah.
could. So we're just gonna go next. So this is the information we want. We just want the device to enroll, and it's a Linux. And there we go. Click next. And it says here to send the link to us. I think this is gonna send to Esther though. I should have sent it to her.
I'll let you know if they
Oh, I should have done that. I'm so sorry. Let me go back.
Yeah, you might.
Just a link to. Yeah, but this is just a link
the
to
link.
it.
The link. I see.
That's just a link. Anybody you can copy.
Okay. So we don't.
Yeah. See, yeah. There's the link.
Okay, so we got the link. I mean, if I do send or finish, it's gonna send to Esther. I'm gonna send it to you, Esther, anyway, just so that you have it. I'm gonna send. Did it send? Yeah, it's sending, and it's sent to you. So what happens is you're gonna get an email, and they're just gonna give you this link. So
I got it.
all right. So what you do with that link is you actually click the link. Here in my case, I just copied the link, and it's gonna tell us here you need to download this installer. And then I'm just gonna go ahead, click here to download the installer. It's going to download here, and just to make sure that it's identifiable so that we know. Oh, hold on.
And it gives you step 2. Actually, it gives you the commands. Actually.
Oh, right there.
By the way, actually, Juan, instead of saving as a public key, you save it as a private key. Actually, that's
what it is. Okay, save as private key.
Yeah, and that would be it.
That would change the PEM to the PPK.
PPK, yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I downloaded the file. We're just gonna rename it to call it enroll only. Enroll installer. Enroll. We'll just enroll. And then I'm gonna copy this file to the I guess the key pair area where we have our key pair. So we have two files. We have the original installer and then the enroll installer. So we can follow these instructions to run it, but the first thing we need to do is just get it there. It's the same steps as we had. I'll just review it. We don't need to.
Yeah, just quickly. Yeah.
Quit this.
Oh, actually, maybe you wanna save this as a private key. Actually, before close it. So that will
Okay.
That will save as a.
Save private key. Yes. Oh, it is.
There you go.
We'll call this I guess the enroll key. There we go. All right. Hopefully this works. So we're gonna use the PPK that we generated. So it's PCSP. -I and then enroll key. Then the file we want to enroll, which is the ITSM enroll, and then the location, which it's up there. Hold on. Ubuntu at 3.293.172.25/home. Ubuntu. Okay, and this should work. And it's actually copying the enroll key.
Awesome.
So
Excellent.
Yeah.
okay. So the GUI option is just takes a longer step because we have to upgrade the instance itself. And I don't know if I have enough. Go ahead.
This is not complete. Then after this is done, then you do actually step 1 and step 2 to install it.
Okay.
Right.
So
yeah, but that GUI version was like it was a long way around. Because on our Linux server, I was the one that even updated it and upgraded it and all that, and put all that madness on it.
Yeah.
I gotta jump on a meeting at 10 o'clock. I'll keep this running and I'll listen in if that's okay.
Okay, no worries. Well, if you're gonna just take off, I just want to mention. I was gonna tell you guys at the end of this meeting that Wednesday, I'm not gonna be able to meet up with you guys. I have an appointment that I'm right at 9 o'clock, so I have to take care of that. But I will be on later on in the afternoon to look over anything that you guys went over, and and follow up after that.
Sounds good.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Just wanted to put it out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this running, so we can complete.
Okay. Yeah, I'll end it. Just send or post up the recording if you can.
Yeah, and then I'll upload the video to our Google Drive.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
So this is the installer stuff. Was there any other questions that we needed to review?
No. Yeah. Once that's installed, we just do step 1, step 2, and then it should enroll it, right?
Yep. Should enroll it.
Excellent. Okay. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna send the screenshots to Sam. I have 4 of them. I'll send it to you guys too, so you can see which ones I'm sending. It's just as a matter of fact, let me see if I can put this. Once I have it on my Word document, I guess I'll just put it in the Gmail chat. Just so I can get your guys' okay. I have 4 screenshots I'm going to put up there.
Alright, it's finished uploading. Let me just go to the Linux instance here. It's there. And then
awesome.
We just run the steps that they tell us in the endpoint manager link. So it's chmod and then plus x and then the name of the file, which in this case it's ITSM enroll. And that's how to make it executable. To run it, we need the sudo command. I'm not going to run sudo. I'm just going to do ITS enroll, and then that should run it.
So you didn't have to do the sudo installation files?
We do have to do sudo because it does require root to install.
Oh, okay.
But I won't install this instance.
Yeah, right. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how easy it was if we knew how to do it.
Yeah, the GUI route required us to upgrade that, and sometimes you have to double check when you do the upgrade that you have enough room. In this case, this is only a 10 gig hard drive
Hmm. Right.
or 7 gig hard drive because it was the free tier. But on our lab that Intelligenz gave to us, it's a 50 gig. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I actually, what's funny is I actually thought I broke the, the server. Because remember, Fredo, I told you that I downloaded all those desktop versions.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'm just like, oh my god, I broke the server. It's like a desktop one on top of each other, on top of each other. Okay. So Esther, if there's any more questions on the process,
No, no more questions. Thank you for doing this, though.
No
no,
problem.
of course.
That's really
Trust me. No matter what, I mean, I know we only got what 2 more weeks of this joyous internship,
yeah.
but you know, the purpose of it all is to understand it. You know, we have to understand it. I mean, there's no point in you know, showing up and just you know, just like going crazy. We have to go over it as a team, you know, as a group, so that we're all on the same ball. Because when it all stands,
Good.
oh, the stream crash looked good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was just, you know, the servers, and I wasn't too sure about what he said about are they communicating. Maybe he meant were they enrolled or not. Like I really couldn't.
Right.
I couldn't see if there was anything like specific to that.
So
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that either.
so once you know that the device, once you run the installer on the endpoint, I
Uh-huh.
believe you go under endpoint manager, and then it should be device list. It should show you the active components on that endpoint. So
Right.
Okay.
so here's the agent, antivirus, and the containment version of the Windows Server ones. But on the Linux, it's only agent and antivirus. I'm not sure if it has any other components for Linux. But you know it's communicating when all these components are either light green and it's working. So that's
Right.
kind of how you know it's communicating. The other way you can know it's communicating is if you look at the log files of the devices. Let me see if I could get it to show the log files. So I guess if you go into Cypress 1 and look up the logs, I believe it's under here. So there's, oops, why is it highlighting? I didn't want it. Oh, okay. So in the log files, it tells you the alerts that was captured. I think there's some scripts that are run as well. The patch logs would mean, I think, the updates that the
The updates.
instance has, and these are the other log files. So the other thing you want to also check other the logs is if you actually look at the server inventory. I'm sorry, the software inventory. It'll list all the software we've installed since we've started.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So this one, I guess they did for us. I remember installing this.
Yeah, I remember that too.
This is basically software that allows us to have a X server client on Windows so that we can see what Linux is seeing. So we installed that. So that's one way to check if the server itself is communicating with the Dragon platform. Check the logs, check the file inventory, and all these other things. So there you go.
Excellent. Yeah. All right, great. That was great. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Just keep in touch if you have any questions. Practice this. I I can't stress that enough. You know, I even have my AWS up right now, and I'm going to create a Linux instance too, and I'm going to practice transferring at least files. You know, once you get comfortable, you can try transferring software so that you can run them on a Linux instance. But once you get comfortable transferring the files, it should be a breeze.
Okay, cool. Can you just CC all of us when you send the final email to Sam one?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thank you.